Hey everyone, it's Miss Gibson, and today we're going to read a book called The Little Scarecrow Boy. It's by Margaret Wise Brown and illustrated by David Diaz, and I hope you like it. Once upon a time, in a cornfield, there lived a scarecrow and his scarecrow wife and their little scarecrow boy. Every day of the world, Old Man Scarecrow went into the cornfield to make faces at the crows. And every day of the world, his little scarecrow boy wanted to come too. And every day of the world, Old Man Scarecrow said, "No, no, little boy, you can't go. You're not fierce enough to scare a crow. Wait till you grow." So every day, the little Scarecrow Boy stayed at home all day and just grew. Every day out in the field, Old Man Scarecrow waved his arms and made terrible faces. He made such terrible faces that the crows nearly lost their feathers at the sight of him there, and they flew far away, far away. Every evening when the sun went down, Old Man Scarecrow came rattling home. And all evening he sat in his scarecrow house, teaching his little scarecrow boy how to make fierce faces. Old Lady Scarecrow whistled through her straw teeth at the looks of them there. But early in the morning, when the sun came up, it was the same old no. "No, little boy, you can't go. You're not fierce enough to scare a crow. Wait till you grow." So the little Scarecrow Boy stayed at home all day and just grew. Then one day, after the little boy had learned all 6 of his father's terrible faces so that he could make them one after the other, he decided to run away. Early the next morning, he would go out into the cornfield, and he would frighten a crow. So, before the sun was up, or Old Man Scarecrow was up, or Old Lady Scarecrow was up, the little Scarecrow Boy slipped out of bed, dressed quietly on tiptoe, and went quietly, quietly, quietly out of the house. Over to the cornfield, up on his father's post, in his father's place. It was a fine shining morning with the sun gleaming green down the corn blades. Crows circled in the air far away over the trees. The little Scarecrow Boy waved his arms through the air. He had never felt fiercer in all his life. And then came flying a big black crow. "Oh, oh, oh!" The little Scarecrow made his first fierce face. And still came flying the big black crow. "Oh, oh, oh!" The little Scarecrow Boy made his second fierce face. And still came flying the big black crow. His third face. "Oh, oh, oh! Time to go!" So the little Scarecrow Boy ran and he ran down the cornrows. The black flapping wings made a noise now, and looking back he could see the blue sky through the ragged feathers of the nearest crow. He ran and he ran. Then he stopped. His fourth face. And still came flying the big black crow. So he ran and he ran and he ran and he ran. And the crow flew and he flew and he flew and he flew. And the little Scarecrow Boy ran. And then he made his fifth and next to fiercest face of all. And still came flying the big black crow. The little boy had only one face left now and hardly any breath. Even so, he stopped. And with his arms stretched wide above his head and his fingers drooping down on his hands, he gave the big crow the 6th face. And whoa! The old crow flew backwards through the air, feathers flying everywhere, until there wasn't even the shadow of a crow on the land. A scarecrow at last. The little Scarecrow Boy knew that he was as fierce a scarecrow as there was in all the cornfields in all the world. And then he saw a shadow in front of him, and he looked up, and there behind him was the Old Man Scarecrow, his father. And his father was proud of his little boy who had made all 6 faces at the crows. And he picked up his little Scarecrow Boy in his scarecrow arms, and they went home to breakfast. And when the little Scarecrow grew up, he was the fiercest scarecrow in all the fields in all the world. Now that we've read The Little Scarecrow Boy, we are going to draw our very own Little Scarecrow Boy or Little Scarecrow Girl. So for this project, you're going to need blank paper and a pencil and either markers or crayons. Let's get started.
To start our little scarecrow boy or little scarecrow girl, you're going to have your paper in the tall direction, and at the top we're going to start with a U shape. This is going to be our scarecrow's face. On top of our U shape, we're going to draw a curved line. This is going to be the hat, and it's going to just curl around on the edges to be the brim of the hat. To make the rest of the hat, we're going to come to the top and make kind of a floppy M shape. This is going to be a nice floppy farmer's hat that he's wearing. So from there, we'll work on our scarecrow's body. You need 2 lines for the neck. You're going to go straight out to the sides for arms. Come down and back in to make the shirt sleeves. And then we are going to draw the rest of the body. So we're going to go down at kind of an angle. So you overall have a triangle shape. And then we're going to make pants legs, because our scarecrow is going to be wearing overalls. So now we have the shape of the body, we're going to draw those overalls. So we're going to need to have 2 lines right here to make the shoulder straps. Then we're going to make the bib part. You can add a pocket if you want. You can add a few patches to make him look, you know, a little patchy. Some thread for stitches. You can make it however fancy you want. So then we're going to do the straw hands and straw feet. This is going to be the easy part. You can make it look like fingers if you want, or you can just make it look like random pieces of hay, because that's what it is. You know, our scarecrow is stuffed with straw. So it can be as neat or as messy as you want. And he's going to have some straw sticking out of the top of his hat, kind of like he's got a little bit of hair. So next, we just have to give our scarecrow a face. I think I'll give him some round eyes and a triangle nose and a nice smiley mouth. I'm going to give him some cheeks too. So now we can just add some details. I might want to add a flower to the hat. And now we're done with the outline of our scarecrow. Now that our scarecrow outline is finished, we are just going to start coloring in our scarecrow. I'm going to start with the eyes. I just want to make those black because, you know, like in our book, they were buttons. Then I'm going to give our scarecrow a nose, and you can start wherever you want to and use whatever colors you want to. This is just the way I'm going to do mine. I think I'm going to color his overalls purple, because that seems like a fun color for overalls. So just remember, you can make this look however you want it to look, because it is your little scarecrow boy or little scarecrow girl. So you can pick your colors. When you're finished with his outfit, you can make a background if you want to. You can make them look just like our scarecrow we read about in the book, or you can make it completely your own. I'm going to make the patches on his pants a different color too. Maybe it can match his shirt or his hat. Okay, now that we are finishing coloring our scarecrows, the only thing you have left to do is if you want to add a background. You know, you can add some grass or some sky or even some crows behind him. But we are all finished with our scarecrow. So remember, you can send me your scarecrows on Google Classroom or bring it to our next Google Meet session. I can't wait to see them.
I hope you enjoyed the Little Scarecrow Boy. And now I also hope that all of you are out practicing your 6 fierce scarecrow faces so you can scare away all the birds too.